Entrepreneurial Edge is brought to you by Business Banking from FNB, because small ideas can lead to big business. FNB, how can we help you?
Hello and a warm welcome to the Entrepreneurial Edge. My name is Lionel Skink. Thanks for joining us. On this episode, we feature an international entrepreneur, author and speaker, Mr. Carl Bates. He's the founder of the SIRDAR Global Group, an organization that helps small and medium-sized businesses experience extreme business growth. Now, before we chat to Carl about his entrepreneurial journey, let's find out more about his company.
SIRDAR was founded in New Zealand by a gentleman called Carl Bates. Through his journey around the world, this is when Carl realized the need to support and develop SMEs around the world. What we'll do is identify companies that do need our help, that are wanting to grow, that are wanting to take the business to the next level, or who are wanting to reach a summit. Businesses or business owners that actually want to move away from owning a job in their own businesses to creating sustainable enterprises. Our startup clients will start from a turnover of 2 million and above in terms of their turnover, which we've got our base camp program. This is our mentoring program for small businesses, which are actually very small. So what we'll do is that we'll take them through a 12-month period where we'll help them build and develop their businesses. And then we've got SIRDAR Legal, which is if the clients do have any legal matters that they want advice on, then we'll assist them on that. And then we've got our governance clients, which are clients that are making a turnover of 10 million and above. And these are the clients that will help them with the processes within the business and try and build them to be a sustainable enterprise. Currently, we're actively involved in Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban and Pretoria. We've got clients in George and in Port Elizabeth. We are looking at expanding in the North Africa so that we can take SIRDARs to those countries and hopefully help the SMEs that side.
In studio with me, I have Carl Bates, founder of SIRDAR Global Group. Carl, thank you very much for your time and thanks for joining us.
No worries, great to be here.
Fantastic. Well, Carl, the first question I'd like to know from you is, how would you describe yourself?
How would I describe myself? I'm an entrepreneur, I'm passionate about business, I love life, work hard, play hard, and really look to support the people around me that are making what we're doing here in South Africa and in Africa a real opportunity to support community and business growth.
You might want to add that somebody that has achieved much in his very short space of time is still very young, and we're going to get to all of that a bit later. Carl, what do you do? What does Carl Bates do?
What do? I talk about what it takes to achieve this thing we call extreme business success, what the role of governance and business is all about, how small and medium business owners actually can achieve something from the hard hours and labour and work we put into getting our businesses off the ground. We work hard to get started, but so often we actually lose the value in the process and we lose the opportunities that we're creating for ourselves because we don't know what to do. And I was lucky enough to grow up in a family of business owners. I was lucky enough when I was born to have 7 of my 8 great-grandparents. I'm lucky enough to still have all of my grandparents alive. And they're all business owners, or what we now call craftsmen. Plumbers, drain layers, builders, retail store owners, people who were great with their hands and their craft, but they never quite achieved that magic, made that multi-millions that you can as a business owner. And I was, as a teenager and as a kid, an inquisitive little one, and I kept looking to say, well, why is this? What is it we're missing? What is it that the family's been missing? What is it that my great-grandparents missed in terms of achieving this thing called extreme business success? And through a great series of opportunities and developing an understanding about what it takes to succeed in business, we came up with a bit of a process that we can use to support business owners to maximize that. And so what I do is share that story.
So right now you are the global expert in governance when it comes to small business and helping them achieve that extreme success, as you say, but you're still quite young, as I alluded to at the beginning.
Yes.
Somebody might ask the question there, what qualifies you at the tender age of 29 to know all of this and not just be an expert in South Africa and New Zealand, but global expert?
Look, I always say you're an expert in something if people are talking about you as the expert. You're the leader. In my book, The Laws of Extreme Business Success, one of the laws is the law of leadership. And the law of leadership says, leadership doesn't mean you're the biggest or you're the best or you're the fastest. Leadership means that people are talking about you as the leader and reflecting back that you're the leader. And in the space of governance and the rules of extreme business success, I look to those that are talking about us, the invitations I get to speak at universities or business chambers and industry organisations, where people are saying, what have you got to say about this topic? And look, I was lucky enough when I was 18 to get my first directorship. I've been a director of small and medium businesses now for over 10 years, been talking about governance and small business for that time, and we've built and practiced a methodology of implementing governance in small and medium business, which I've been very involved in, obviously, in our organisation, of trialling that, practicing it, seeing how we can improve it, seeing how it actually works within the businesses we work with, and seeing the results they achieve from it. So not only in the way in which I'm talking about these subjects, but the way in which we're practically applying it, I think that's got to the point where people are saying, well, look, Carl's the global expert in this space.
Fantastic. Now, Carl, you are from New Zealand. It's a small little country known for its rugby and its beautiful scenery.
The world leaders at the moment, and so often
we're going to let you have that. But New Zealand, you say you come from a family of entrepreneurs, and I'd like to find out, is New Zealand a country that has a culture of entrepreneurship, and hence you were able to learn and take lessons from people that you grew up around?
Well, interestingly enough, I create a distinction between entrepreneurship and what we now call craftsmanship. And I think so often business owners, governments and the like, we talk about people as entrepreneurs, but we actually don't understand what an entrepreneur is. And the term entrepreneur actually comes from the French word entreprendre, which means to undertake or to promise. And so the perspective that we take in SIRDAR is that so many of us are actually just craftsmen. We're small business owners, we own our job. We're not actually an entrepreneur. And one of the challenges I put and we put at SIRDAR to small and medium business owners is to say, are you actually in business as an entrepreneur, or are you just a craftsman? And look, one isn't better than the other, but the two things have very different strategies. And where we fail in business so often is we try and play the game of entrepreneurship when we're actually a craftsman or a craftswoman, be it as it may. And so when you create that distinction and you understand the distinction, that's when you can start to unlock the magic of what we call extreme business success.
All right, let's look at your educational background, because for many people, it's what you've studied. I mean, your background was in accountancy, and how has that actually helped you to be what you are today? Just tell us a little bit about what you studied and how did you get to where you are today?
Okay, I started university when I was 16.
Is that normal? Is that
no, that's not normal.
Okay.
So I was.
What's the normal age to get
normal
into
age is probably 18, like here in South Africa. So I was.
So you were something of a prodigy.
You could say that.
Okay.
So I started university, studied as a chartered accountant. At the same time, I was working at McDonald's full time, doing all the things that you do at McDonald's, flipping burgers and taking the drive-through orders and all of those great things. And I was also the president of the United Nations Youth Association in New Zealand. So I had quite a bundle of activity, and went through university. By the time I was 21, I became a chartered accountant and was a chartered accountant, member of the New Zealand Institute of Directors, and now a member of the South African Institute of Directors as well. So quite an array of educational activity. I got a first class honours degree in accountancy, a number of scholarships while I was at university. But alongside that, I was working in business. And
so would you describe yourself as an above average student, or were you just trying to get by like most? I mean, accountancy is notoriously difficult for most people that studied.
Look,
blow your horn. I'm giving you the
I enjoyed university. I did very well at university. I got first class honours. At the same time as working full time and doing a range of other things. So yes, you could say that I was above average student.
All right, now in the second half, we want to get more into the SIRDAR Group, which is what you actually are, you are heading right now. You're based in South Africa, but your big thing is governance, right? Business governance, and you are the expert in that. Just very quickly before we go to the break, what is governance and how do you apply to businesses?
Look, one of the things about governance is people often talk about governance as being about compliance, about ticking the boxes, about your annual audit, about making sure that you're legally compliant. And that's
and in South Africa, BEE compliance as well.
BEE compliance is part of that as well. The problem with that logic is governance is much more than that. Governance is fundamentally about the performance and the conformance of business success. And governance should be part of the inherent process of achieving this thing we call extreme business success. You know, small and medium business owners, we so often go, I'm the sole director of my business, me, myself, and I. But you never invest in a business with a board of director. So why do you invest in your own business with you, yourself, and you as the sole shareholder, director, and manager of your business, plus maybe husband, wife, and significant other? And so when we talk about governance, we like to talk about it as enterprise governance within the SIRDAR Group. Enterprise governance is about what it takes to achieve extreme business success, which includes compliance, but is a much bigger view about business success.
So you essentially are saying that you have the secret to super growth.
Super growth is one strategy. Stopping yourself from failing is another, and the process can achieve both of those things, as well as ensuring sustainable growth. You know, how many people do you know who have had a great story and successful journey, and then all of a sudden they've been knocked for six by something that's happened that's cut their business or destroyed their business because there's been no one sitting around the table, there's been no mind sitting around the table going, hold on a minute, how do we succeed here?